Okay, Mr. Hospital Bed here. We're looking at another great video, and we're going to do a quick walkthrough and give you a personal consultation on what is the best hospital bed for you. What are some of the best options for the needs that you've got? A lot of this obviously depends on the person that's in bed, what they need, and what they need currently, what they might need in a long-term care option, and looking down the road. But this will really help you pinpoint price ranges or ballpark ideas of what type of bed, foam, air, new, refurbished. And as you can see here, we've got beds from all major manufacturers, the best beds on the planet. And we sell beds literally by the thousands all over the United States and all over the world. So when you're looking to find a hospital bed, the first thing you got to figure out is for the person in bed, how much time are they spending in bed? Okay, so that is going to determine first off if you're going to get a mattress with foam or you're going to get a mattress with air. Foam mattresses are primarily for people that are still mobile, getting up, moving around. Air mattresses are for people that primarily spend the majority of time either in bed or sitting down. And the purpose of an air mattress is really to protect people from getting bed sores and pressure wounds. So there's a couple things that an air mattress will do that'll help protect a person. The first thing is, being that it's air, a larger percentage of your body is going to sink into the mattress. So one of the areas that you have risk of bed sores is the bottom of your heel. So let's say, as an example, the bottom of the heel is sitting on a foam mattress, and it's only maybe that much of the heel is actually on the surface of the mattress. What's happening is that all the weight of your leg and your calves and everything are basically going onto a very small surface on the heel, which is actually making contact. Whereas with a air mattress, the whole heel is going to be absorbed into the mattress. It's going to disperse the area that's going in, and therefore it doesn't put so much pressure on such a small point of the body. So that's going to be one of the first things. And an air mattress also runs air. It has a feature called low air loss. And low air loss is exactly what it says. Air is leaving the mattress. And if you can think of it, there's different configurations, but primarily, if you can think of 18 air baffles from the top to the bottom, and on the left and right hand sides, there's little tiny holes that release air, and that air circulates over the mattress. And what it does is it whisks away moisture, and it's sort of microclimate. It's not air conditioned air, but by pushing air through there, by keeping moisture from building up, you're really basically preventing what's going to be the root cause of a bed sore. So an air mattress is going to get more. You're going to sink deeper into the mattress. It's going to reduce pressure points, and it's going to run low air loss. Now, in some cases, there's additional features that you can get where the mattress will actually turn a person left, right, and center. And this is kind of important because I recently did a video that said that caregivers and nursing is the second most dangerous job in the United States, meaning that there's more people getting injured on the job trying to turn and move people. The only other job that's more dangerous is construction. And so having a mattress that'll assist and help turn the person is a big deal. So the first thing you're going to evaluate, is it going to be foam or is it going to be air? Now, in some cases, it might be I need foam now, I might need air later. And that is one of the things that is very popular. And it could be somebody that needs air now and maybe they'll, go back to foam later. But there's two primary types of beds. Well, in a hospital, I guess. I try to break away from these clinical terms because I don't find them to be useful for the general public. But there's two types of beds in a hospital: a med surge bed and an ICU bed. Okay. Med surge beds are basically foam mattress beds. ICU beds are beds that are built with an air mattress system or have an air mattress and a scale. So if anybody asks what is the definition of an ICU bed, an ICU bed is a bed with an air mattress and a scale. However, in this world, you do get variations of that, especially when we deal with international clients. They think that all the beds in the United States are ICU, and technically they can be. Now, one of the things I want to point out to you right here next to me is I've got a Hillrom Advanta 2 bed, and I got a little bit of the thing cut off there, but you can see what I've done is I've got a pump hanging off the foot of the bed. Okay. So technically, that is a med surge bed. But what we can do with that bed is, if I can fix my camera, what we can do with that bed is we could start that bed off with a foam mattress, and then later I could put what's called a replacement mattress on there that's air. And it basically hangs off the foot of the bed, and now you can convert a foam mattress to an air mattress. So that's very popular in a hospital or long-term care facility. If you get patients in there and you get an influx of people that are immobile, then at that point you're going to need to have a bed that has an air mattress on it so they could take the foam, throw it off. So you have that ability, you have the ability to get a basic bed frame, start with foam, move to air, or get a basic bed frame and throw an air mattress on it. Now, the bed that's directly behind me, camera left, camera right, is a drive bed. Phenomenal bed. We deal a lot with drive. They have great products, but the goal here is to kind of give you an idea of what you're going to get normally from insurance. And so that's a bed that has springs, and you can see it's not going to be as durable and probably not as solid as an actual medical bed, hospital bed would be. But in many cases, that's going to be all you need. Let's say it's a hip replacement or it's a knee replacement, and you just need something for 30, 60, 90 days for transition. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So that's your first consideration. Air mattress or foam mattress. Now, the bed that's right here, this is a Hillrom bed. That's one of our air mattress hospital beds. And those beds basically have the air system built into the bed frame. So unlike a replacement mattress bed, which would be an Advanta 2 that I had over here by Hillrom, and then I can switch a mattress, somebody that already knows they need an air mattress can just go ahead and get the bed and the air mattress configured into the bed frame. And there's a few advantages that come with that, primarily that the mattress and the bed work together as one piece of equipment. So most of these beds, a lot of these Hillrom beds, will go into a chair position. And when the bed does go into a chair position, the mattress recognizes that, and the mattress and the bed are working together as one piece of equipment. Whereas, with the other setup here, the mattress is completely separate from the bed. The bed and the mattress can both go into a chair position, but it's going to do it a little bit differently. I think the biggest benefit of getting an air mattress built into the bed frame is that you get a more expensive bed for a less amount of money. So let's say as an example, the bed right here, which is a P1840, it's a bariatric extra wide bed. You can see here that we've got all the different Hillrom beds, and some other more striker beds, which is also one of the best brands out there. Um, but what you're doing is you're basically allowing the bed and the mattress to conform with the shape of the bed as the bed moves into different positions. But those beds, brand new, were in the tens of thousands of dollars. An 1840 bed was 40 grand in the day. I'm not going to give a price out here, but it's a lot less than it's less than 10 grand. I want to say they're about 7 grand. So you could basically get a bed that at one time was 40 grand for 7 grand. Or what you could do is you could say, all right, well, let's put this together. Now, right above my head, right here, I've got a Secure 3, I've got a Secure 2. I do have another Advanta 2 that's right there. Um, all those are beds that could also just say, look, I want that bed frame and I want to throw a brand new mattress system on it. So bed frames, ballpark, they range, they vary, but we'll just say on average, we'll say they're about $2,500. And $2,500 to 3 grand is about what you're paying for a brand new home care bed. Okay. So when you're getting an actual hospital grade bed, you're getting a lot. It's just a more features, a little more durable. And that's great if you need that. But in some cases, it's like, look, I just need something that's electric. I don't need the full blown bed. Let's go, not something like this, but an upgraded version of that, which would be a long-term care bed that would be a little bit like a step above with a chair position and some of that. The point I'm trying to make is that if you grab a regular bed frame and you throw an air mattress on it, The air mattresses can run anywhere on average from $1,000 to $4,000. So if you've got a bed frame that's 2,500 bucks and you get a $4,000 air mattress system, you're ballpark spending about the same amount as you would have if you've got an ICU bed with the air mattress system and everything built into it. So the main thing is understanding your options, what's going to be best for you. And the goal obviously is to say, okay, right now, like I said, maybe we can start with foam, we'll move to air, or if it's like, person that's paraplegic, quadriplegic, stroke, ALS, MS, and you already know you're going to need an air system, you're going to get more value from going ahead and just getting a bed where the air system is combined with the bed frame. Um, Now we can get into more details on that. The other thing that I do want to point out is that another consideration is how does a person get in and out of bed? Okay. So if the person's getting in and out of bed as a normal person, like they turn off to the side of the bed and they get up, great. Any of these beds are going to work. If the person's getting in and out of a bed from a wheelchair, now we need to look at the bed frame height because wheelchairs ballpark are 18 to 19 inches off the ground. Okay. So if we've got a bed that's 15 inches and then we've got an 8-inch mattress on it, we're now ballpark at about 23 inches. We're about 4 inches higher ideally than where we want to be. We don't want people in a wheelchair to have to lift themselves up to get into bed. So there's a special bed made for people that are in wheelchairs, and we call those high-low beds. And high-low beds are basically beds that are going to sit a little bit lower to the ground. And so when you're getting in and out of a wheelchair, you're either going directly across or you're dropping down in bed. You're still going to be able to elevate the bed to an actual height that you need, but it's allowing you to drop down in bed. Then you raise the bed up and drop down into the wheelchair. So now I've had situations where people said, no, I absolutely want a Striker Secure 3. And unfortunately, my head is right behind that bed. But the Striker Secure 3 is just a rock solid bed. It has a scale, it has bed exit. All these hospital grade beds have 4 rails. They have the word Trendelenburg, which is a mouthful that if you're just getting into this, that is a very awkward word to have to pronounce, named after a doctor, actually. But Trendelenburg will angle the bed this way with the head above the foot or this way with the foot above the head. It's going to do that for 2 reasons. First off, if it's somebody with a cardiac related issue, they need to be at 30 degrees. Their chest needs to be 30 degrees above the rest of their body. And so Trendelenburg for a cardiac related person is important. And then also, if people have gout, swelling the feet, lymphedema, and those different things, they want the feet above the head to help bring in and reduce swelling and help circulate some of that extra mass that's in the legs. And then also, if people slide down in bed, the reverse Trendelenburg, lifting the feet above the head, allows them to slide the person back up towards the top of the bed. So those are going to be some key features right there that you'll look for. Now, the most important reason you want Trendelenburg in a hospital bed is because it's what you need to have to make it a chair position. So a chair position in a hospital bed is the bed that's in Trendelenburg and then with the head and the foot section raised up. And one of the things that I see all the time on the internet, which I'll get into more about the internet stuff, but they will advertise a bed and put a really low price out there, like 1,800, $2,000. And you go and say, wow, that's a good deal. And I would do the same thing. And I often do go, wow, that's interesting. I sell the same bed. I'm also a distributor, but my price is $1,000 more. Well, what they're doing is they're throwing out the basic bed frame without side rails, without Trendelenburg. And then by the time you add the chair position, by the time you put on some side rails, by the time you do the basic setup of the bed, you're back up to the $3,000 or more range. So I don't really like that type of a lead in because I feel it's misleading. And honestly, if anybody's getting a hospital bed, you want a chair position because being sitting upright is good for your bodily circulation. It's good for it's basically good for processing and the blood flow, and it's good for recovery and healing. Having a bed like this one here behind me is all well and good for short term, but all that thing's going to do is crank your head up and lift up your foot. it's not actually going to tilt you and sit you more upright. And there gets a point where you're trying to crank the head section up. It's difficult to drink. You're not really adjusting the whole body. You're just basically twisting the head. So hospital beds, air mattress or foam mattress. Is it going to be needed now? Is it going to be needed later? Do we start with the bed frame and put on foam and add air, or do we go with a hospital bed that already has an air system built into it? And then for the person that is in bed, do they need two rails or four rails? Now, all the rails on all these beds can drop down. Okay, so you could have four rails, only use two. If you're getting like a home care style bed like this, you can put tool rails. There'll be half rails that'll go on there. And then they have something to grab onto that'll kind of help adjust them while they're in bed. So that's your other consideration that you want to look for. And then also, when it comes to can the person turn themselves in bed, which is going to be probably one of the most important questions to ask, then there's a feature called lateral rotation. Lateral rotation is the clinical term. The real life term means it's a mattress that turns you. So that when I start talking about the caregiving and taking care of a person, as I said earlier, caregivers and nurses have the most injury on the job, and the injury on the job is from turning people that are literally, in many cases, just they're immobile. So you're lifting like a lot of weight, and you're not getting any weight, you're not getting any assistance, a lot of assistance from the person. And so for somebody in a long-term care facility, that's a big job, having to go up down hallway and turn three people in every hour or two. So that's an important consideration. Do we need lateral rotation? Yes or no? And it's not always for the person in bed. It's also for the caregiver. It's just an important of a consideration for the person who's trying to take care of that person as it is for the actual person that's in bed. And last but not least, there is a feature on one bed that we sell called a Progressa, which is this bed right here. And you can see it says pulmonary surface. And that Progressa bed, which we've got a few different versions, but that version right there will actually have a percussion vibration feature that'll help knock congestion out of the lungs. And those are very popular for people with ALS. They're very popular with people with pneumonia, bronchitis, anybody that knows that they're going to have lung issues. There's a couple of different ways that can get done. It can get done with a vest. The vest is not as easy or not as effective as putting it on the mattress, but if you did need that, that would be one of the last considerations. So if you're looking for a hospital bed, and I'm sorry, because there's a lot of dust in the air here this morning. If you're looking for a hospital bed, then you're going to consider those few things. Now, popular questions that you're going to ask: how do I get the bed in the house? Most of the time, all these hospital beds are going to get tipped sideways that go through a door frame. The majority of all the hospital grade beds, they're not going to go up flights of stairs. So in many cases, I've done videos that can fit in elevators. We can stand them straight up and down, but we need some more information to make sure we do that properly. And then also, tipping them sideways. But if there are stairs, three or four stairs at the front of the house, okay, we can usually navigate that. That's not a problem. But most of these beds, hospital grade beds, are not going upstairs. So if that's the case, then we immediately know that we're going to be going with one of these type of beds right here. Now, it's something that could be higher quality, but it's something that'll come in pieces that we can bring in and assemble. And so, that's also going to be another consideration. We ship them all over the United States. We've got people right now in St. Louis, Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky. We're going to Detroit, Michigan in a couple days. We've got beds going up to Jersey, Florida. California office sends them all over, Colorado, everywhere. So, I mean, we can ship the beds pretty much anywhere in the United States. But once they get there, figuring out how they're going to get in the home and knowing how beds get into a home is going to help you figure out, what if these beds that you want are actually going to work. So, with all that being said, I've been doing this over 15 years. My name is Sean Callahan. Probably seen some of my other videos. And, I've got literally 300 videos on YouTube. It was about 6 months ago. I said, well, I've been doing all these videos. I'm always behind the scenes. I'm going to put my name and face on the camera, but I take calls from people like you every day that are looking for these types of beds. And the goal for us is to give you the bed that has the greatest value for the least amount of money. All right. It's to give you the bed that has the greatest value for what you need to take care of the person and provide the highest level of patient care for the best possible price. And the most expensive bed that we sell, I'm going to go back over to the Progressa. That bed brand new is an $82,000 bed. The treatment bed, the Progressive there with the treatment surface, is a $40,000 bed. The 1840 bed that I've got right here, brand new, like I said, was a $42,000 bed. So if you can get a bed that was 82 grand for 10 grand, you're getting a great value. And then if you say, well, I don't need the percussion, maybe just lateral, you can scale down and price it in a way where it's cost effective and it's going to work for you. And the goal is, as I said earlier, is to find the right bed. Try to have a video that's going to help you get right to the core basics because there is an astronomical amount of information and beds that are out there. And the one thing about us that's very unique between me and Gloria, Gloria is Miss Hospital Bed. I have to get her on videos here soon, but she runs San Diego. She's been doing this 15 years. And myself, Mr. Hospital Bed, is that, we sell used refurbished medical beds. We also sell beds brand new. And in some cases, it's going to be better and easier to just get a brand new bed for 3, 4 grand, whatever it might be, and then, throw a foam or an air mattress on it. Many times you won't need all the hospital grade stuff. But as somebody that, breaks this down, I'm going to tell you there's 3 categories of medical equipment: low-end home care, high-end home care, and hospital grade care. Okay. So when you're out there and you're price shopping, you say, oh, well, I see a low air loss mattress. It's $500. Absolutely. And the pump on that thing's going to be about this big. It's going to push a tiny bit of air, and it's really going to have very little effect on running the amount of air that's needed for somebody that's permanently bedbound. It's even though it has low air loss, it's in name only. So you get a bigger air mattress or a bigger pump that would get a mattress that's 2 grand or 1,500 or whatever. What you're actually paying for is a bigger pump and a bigger compressor that it's going to run more air over the surface and do a much better job. And then you get to hospital grade care where there's 100% liability on somebody in that hospital. They cannot have breakdowns. They cannot have issues. And you're getting the top of the line equipment that's a big pump, big compressor, drying up bed sores, dealing with pressure wounds, and basically, preventing this person from having a large surgery or even worse. So, in the world of the medical equipment, you get what you pay for, but you have to understand the difference and why a low air loss mattress can be $500, $1,500. Hospital grade ones will be 3 grand or more, and why you need that, why you're paying more, and what the value of it is. And the one thing about us, as you know, we get our hands on these beds every single day. I'm not only on these videos, I'm running around in warehouses. I've shown you the behind the scenes. We've got warehouses full of beds. We get our hands on the beds. I have the gals here and the guys here take the beds through the motions, learn how to fix the beds, because then when people call, you can have intelligent answers and have intelligent situational options for them, more so than an internet-based company that just has a bunch of pictures of beds. None of them are out of their warehouse. Like all the pictures on all my videos are this location in Richmond, but I had the same thing in San Diego where we've got all the beds on display because we want you to be able to come in, test drive, jump in one mattress, test out this bed. Is it high enough? Is it going to work? We want to be able to do that so that we can provide you with the best options. And I feel that that's very important. And that's really why I've started the brand of Mr. Hospital Bed, because I feel like there's not anybody in the industry that's putting their name and face out there to basically educate people and to give them the best options that are available for them. We're not just another generic online website. Almost every single bed sale we do, people call in, ask questions, and basically want to, talk to us and walk them through each individual situation. Every person's different, every situation's different. I didn't talk about extra wide beds or bariatric beds or any of those because those can factor into that as well. But we know what is the best two or three bed model options. Many times we might have an option that's a refurbished option. Many times we might have a new option. The other thing that's important, and a customer of mine reached out to me and said, Sean, you need to make sure people know that, is that all the beds come with the warranty, absolutely. But we also provide lifetime support for the purchase of the bed, meaning we've got full-time technicians. If the bed is outside of warranty and it has an issue, call us. We can still figure out, how to fix it. We can still get parts. We're still here to help you with the bed for the life of the bed while we're here and we're still, running the business and doing all this. So, when it comes to selling the bed, as you've heard me say many times, selling the bed is easy, right? Getting the bed in the home, okay, in some cases that can be a little bit of a challenge. There's some stories of beds that we've gotten into places you probably never thought they would have fit, but they did. But then the other part of that is making sure that once that person has gotten that bed and once they've gotten set up, that we do provide the support for them. So, as Mr. Hospital Bed, as the USA Med Bed, which is our corporate name, our goal is to provide the best solution and the best options for you. And we're people and we want to deal with other people. We don't want to be a generic name and face that you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know if they have any experience. You don't know if they know any more about it than you do, because in many cases they don't. All they're doing is reading spec sheets because they're sitting at a booth answering calls, and they don't have actual full showrooms where all the equipment's on display and they're getting their hands on it every day. So with all that being said, if you are in need of a hospital bed, if you're in need of a free consultation, if there's anything we can do to help you in any way, shape, or form, that's our job. That's what we do. That's what we love to do. And so you can reach us. I'll start first with Gloria out in San Diego, serving all of Los Angeles, Orange County, Riverside County, the whole area up there, San Francisco, I mean, everywhere, basically, Vegas, Colorado, Arizona, Phoenix, everything that's closer to her to ship, she'll ship it from there. Anything that's closer to me to ship, I'll ship it from here. But you can reach Gloria at 858-263-4894. You can reach us here in beautiful Richmond, Virginia at 804-495-0770. Also 540-327-7376, which is normally the number we put out directly. But, if you're somebody that's out there that needs a bed or has a family member that's in the hospital, this is normally how this goes down. They're going to call you, the hospital, and say, hey, your loved one will be out in 2 or 3 days. You're going to need to get this stuff situated. You get yourself in a position where you got to figure this all out in a very short period of time. And hopefully this video has given you some insight of what to look for, to give you an idea of what might be the best solution for you. There's a lot of options out there, but the goal is to kind of break it down simplistically, give you basic core options, let you evaluate what's going to be the best for you or your loved one, and then from there, try to do everything we can on the back end of the support to get you what you need. So with that being said, I always appreciate hearing from you folks. I mean, I get calls every day from people all over the United States. You're so kind, and we're here to serve you. And so we appreciate the feedback. We appreciate you watching the videos, and we look forward to helping you with anything we can do. Mr. Hospital Bed saying thank you once again for watching our videos. Subscribe and share. We wish you and your family nothing but the best, and we look forward to seeing you and talking to you again soon. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe and share, and we'll see you on the next one.